James Dean captivated America in a way that many aspiring heartthrobs could only dream of. However, few realized how real his struggles were until after his passing, when both America and the world truly embraced his dedication and hard work. Born in 1931 in Marion, Indiana, James Dean was the son of Mildred and Wynton Dean. His father, Wynton, worked as a dental technician, though he found little passion in the profession. When James was about 3 years old, the family moved to Fairmont, Indiana, where Wynton attempted a new venture in bullfrog farming, as noted by biographer David Dalton. Unfortunately, the farm did not succeed, prompting the Deans to return to Marion before ultimately relocating to Santa Monica, California, in search of new opportunities. In 1938, tragedy struck the family when Mildred was diagnosed with cancer. 2 years later, she passed away, leaving James devastated at just 9 years old. He was sent on a train back to Marion, accompanying his mother's coffin, a heartbreaking journey that would shape the rest of his life. Returning to his family in Indiana allowed James Dean time to process his grief and reconnect with his childhood. He spent time working on a family farm while also attending high school, where he pursued both sports and drama. His passion for the arts grew, and he eventually graduated in 1949. Ready to chase his dreams. Determined to refine his craft, Dean moved to New York, where he was accepted into the prestigious Actors Studio under the guidance of Lee Strasberg. His dedication soon paid off, and in 1951, he landed his first acting role as John in an episode of family theater titled Hill Number 1. Throughout the early 1950s, James Dean took on a series of minor roles, but he had his sights set on much greater achievements. According to biographer Darwin Porter in James Dean, Tomorrow Never Comes, Dean fully embraced the Hollywood lifestyle, eager to make connections that would help him advance in the industry. He was frequently linked to some of the most famous women of the time, including Joan Crawford, Judy Garland, Marilyn Monroe, and Elizabeth Taylor, powerful figures whose presence in his life only added to his rising star. Despite his many rumored romances, Dean had one particularly significant relationship with actress Pier Angeli. The two met in 1955 while Dean was filming East of Eden, and their bond quickly grew. However, as their careers pulled them in different directions, the relationship became strained. During their time apart, Angeli began dating singer Vic Damone, eventually announcing her engagement to him. Heartbroken, Dean reportedly showed up outside the church on his motorcycle on the day of the wedding. As the newlyweds emerged, he revved the engine and sped away, leaving behind yet another chapter of his tragic story. As James Dean's fame grew, so did speculation about his personal life, particularly regarding his sexuality. Hollywood's rumor mill churned out stories suggesting that he was either gay or bisexual, with some of the speculation possibly stemming from his 1954 performance in The Immoralist, where he played a gay character. However, when asked about Dean's sexuality, writer Hal Hackaday dismissed the rumors, stating, "I never heard anything like that." Dean's sexuality has remained a topic of debate over the years. Biography acknowledges the ongoing discussion surrounding it, but much of the speculation was fueled by unreliable sources. Filmmaker and author Kenneth Anger, known for sensationalizing Hollywood scandals in his book Hollywood Babylon, made unfounded claims about Dean's personal life, including the assertion that he was kept by an aging TV producer. Many of these rumors have since become urban legends, intertwined with Dean's legacy. Regardless of the speculation, James Dean embodied the image of the moody, tortured artist, a persona that only deepened the intrigue surrounding his life and career. James Dean quickly gained a reputation for being rebellious, earning him the nickname Little Bastard on set. According to RealUnexplainedMysteries.com, this was due to his unpredictable mood swings, defiant attitude, and disruptive behavior. Dean's friends Lou Bracker and Phil Stern recalled that Jack Warner of Warner Brothers gave him the nickname after he repeatedly refused to come out of his trailer while filming East of Eden. During this time, Dean also developed a passion for fast cars, particularly those with powerful hot rod engines. Warner Bros. Strictly forbade him from racing while filming, but Dean was not one to follow the rules. As an act of defiance, when he purchased his now infamous Porsche Spyder 550, he had the words "Little Bastard" painted on the vehicle, a fitting tribute to the rebellious image he had cultivated both on and off. By May 1955, James Dean had firmly established himself as a rising Hollywood star. After starring in 3 television shows and Rebel Without a Cause, he was cast in Giant, a highly anticipated film. As his fame skyrocketed, so did his obsession with fast cars. He continued buying more vehicles and even pursued professional racing, despite the risks involved. Aware of Dean's dangerous hobby, Giant director George Stevens took action, ensuring that Dean's contract strictly prohibited him from racing during filming. However, that didn't stop the actor from indulging his passion. On September 21, 1955, Dean purchased the Porsche Spyder 550, the car that would become infamous in Hollywood history. Concerned for his safety, Stevens directly warned Dean about the dangers of his reckless driving. According to George Perry, author of James Dean, Stevens told him in no uncertain terms, "You can never drive this car on the lot again. You're gonna kill a carpenter or an actor or somebody." Sadly, those words would prove to be eerily prophetic. On September 30, 1955, James Dean set out in his Porsche Spyder 550, heading to a race in Salinas, California. Accompanying him was his mechanic, Rolf Woodrich. Earlier in the day, Dean received a speeding ticket, but that didn't slow him down. A couple of hours later, as they traveled along a la Route 466, Dean spotted another vehicle making a left turn onto the road. According to Woodrich, Dean confidently remarked, "That guy's gotta stop," but the other driver, Donald Turnipseed, did not. The 2 cars collided head-on. Woodrich was thrown from the vehicle and survived with serious injuries, while Turnipseed escaped with only minor wounds. Dean, however, was trapped inside the wreck as his car spun through the air before crashing back to the ground. He was rushed to Paso Robles War Memorial Hospital, but was pronounced dead on arrival. His final resting place is in his home state of Indiana. Dean's Porsche Spyder, soon dubbed the Cursed Car, was briefly put on display before eerie stories emerged about its connection to a series of tragic events. Several people who owned or interacted with the wreckage reportedly suffered injuries or worse. The legend of the Little Bastard lived on, cementing James Dean's status not only as a Hollywood icon, but also as a tragic figure whose love for speed ultimately led to his untimely end. In 1960, James Dean's infamous Porsche Spyder mysteriously disappeared, adding to the legend of the so-called cursed car. In 2015, Fox Sports reported that a man named Sean Riley believed his father, along with others, including Batmobile creator George Barris, hit the wreckage in Washington state. While Barris later claimed to have owned the vehicle, its true whereabouts remain unknown to this day. Despite his tragic and untimely death, Dean's legacy only grew stronger. He was posthumously nominated for Best Actor Oscars in both 1955 and 1956 for his performances in East of Eden and Giant, making him the first actor to receive such honors after passing. His enduring influence is reflected in the 23 books and 14 movies that have been created about him, as listed by the Internet Movie Database, not to mention the countless portrayals of him in other films. In 1996, the U.S. Postal Service honored him with a commemorative postage stamp, further cementing his place in American culture. His hometown of Marion, Indiana, continues to celebrate his life each September with a festival featuring a look-alike contest and screenings of his classic films. Fans can also visit the Fairmount Historical Museum, which showcases memorabilia from his life, including the pants he wore in Giant and the speeding ticket he received on the day he died. More than just a Hollywood star, James Dean remains an enduring symbol of youthful rebellion, talent, and tragedy.